Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get a seat. This is very important. COVID-19 is a major problem to the world. Well, as of now, Nigeria's COVID-19 cases stands at 4,641 with 922 people discharged so far and 150 people dead. 242 new cases were announced late last night. So we're looking for a solution to that. Some people are talking about vaccine, treatment, and all what have you. We're hearing stories from the West on what to do, the way to go. WHO is also advising on the guidelines on how to treat and where to go. Yesterday, the federal government, with an order from the President Muhammadu Buhari, that the Madagascar herbal treatment for COVID-19 be procured. Today, the COVID-19 cure from Madagascar is to be subjected to a stringent scientific scrutiny by NAFDAC, the agency in Nigeria in charge of food and administration of drug, and that is if it's going to be accepted for use afterwards. This is the condition affirmed by the National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Mr. Dr. Sani Aliyu, at today's media briefing. Take a listen to him.
Directed by Mr. President, I want to state again that any medication coming into the country, whether it's a herbal cure or concoction or a proper drug, has to be subjected to the normal regulatory process. The Madagascar cure will be subjected to the normal process we expect within the legal frameworks and guidelines that we have, more importantly, to not only to establish the drug efficacy, but also the drug safety. So this drug will go through the normal expected process, which will be quite stringent before it can be administered to anybody. In terms of interstate travel, the PTF continues to see disturbing trends where vehicles are carrying large numbers of people across state borders. The movements of people across state lines is actually against the lockdown process. We urge the public to please refrain from interstate travel. Only travel that is essential or travel involving the conveyance of essential goods is allowed.
The COVID organics, I'll show you what it looks like in a moment from Madagascar. A lot of people have spoken about that seed. It's popularly called the CVO, COVID organics in Madagascar. That's what it's called. It was launched in March this year. It's a herbal tonic developed in Madagascar and touted as a cure for COVID-19. Is now being coveted by several African countries who have placed orders for the brew, whose efficacy has yet to be certified by the WHO, the World Health Organization. The therapy was developed by the Malagasy Institute of Applied Research, IMRA. Its chief ingredient is reported to be from sweet wormwood, otherwise known as Artemisia annua, a plant of Asian origin that gave rise to the anti-malaria drug artemisinin. Let's talk about this, everyone. This looks so much that everyone is scrambling for solution, vaccines, treatment, cure. Where do we go from here? I have tonight, joining me from our Abuja studio, is the Senate Chairman on Health, Senator Ibrahim Oloriegbe. Thank you so much, Senator, for coming on tonight. And we have, not only that we have a medical doctor in Senator Oloriegbe, we also have a pharmacist right here. Mr. Samuel Adekola is the national chairman of Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming tonight on the program.
You're welcome, sir.
Let me first ask you, is alternative medicine, traditional medicine or herbal medicine, is it acceptable as a standard procedure of treatment by WHO?
Well, it's not acceptable by WHO. That's a fact.
Is it acceptable in Nigeria's treatment?
Well, not for us as pharmacists. I must tell you that this is actually an assault.
Okay, so
we consider this an assault on the pharmaceutical landscape of Nigeria.
Okay, let me, I'm trying to build a background. I'll allow you to give us the information.
Yeah.
Has NAFDAC approved any alternative medicine for use in Nigeria on any shelf, in any pharmacy in Nigeria?
Yeah, for sure.
So there are traditional medicine.
Yeah, there are traditional.
So if it's not allowed by WHO as a standard procedure for treatment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they recognize it, but they have never approved. Is that what is applicable?
Well, maybe for international politics, they believe that is not is not being recognized. That for international politics. But again, let us also say that in Nigeria, like you rightly said, there has been herbal medicine. Those manufactured locally, approved by NAFDAC for treatment. Those even there are manufacturers elsewhere that are important in Nigeria, but that is not the. That's the situation.
So we're trying to analyze and see whether or not the premise on which this Madagascar treatment could be adopted in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So in Nigeria, we use alternative medicine officially.
For sure.
Traditional herbal medicine is official.
For sure.
It can be sold on the counter.
NAFDAC
sure. Approves it.
That's right.
The WHO does not politically accept herbal and traditional medicine. That's what you're saying.
Well, maybe not herbal medicine, because this is not the only one. That's when the issue comes, clear. This is not the only claim. Since all of this started, there has been claim here in Nigeria. Several persons have such a claim in Nigeria. Even the popular Oni of Ife at the time came up to say, yes, we have a cure for this. So we will expect, so what we're going to start talking about, but the issue I'm talking about is that giving recognition. Now there's assuming a national, international, posture. Well, the politics from the WHO not looking into it to say, okay, what do you have there? It's an issue on its own.
They held about 70 herbal and traditional herbal experts had a meeting with the WHO on this, and billions of dollars have been approved to look into the research of this. Are you aware?
Yeah, for sure. We have, but not as much as we would have expected WHO to act. Now I'm talking naturally, I'm talking at the African level now.
So you are saying that is an assault. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that if for Nigeria to say they want to import it now, this is why it concerns an assault on us. Why? Because before now, there are several claims, there are several postulations from Nigeria here, back home here, saying that we've gotten a cure, saying that we have a clue to make this work. And they have been crying. I can tell you, my president, for example, in one of the press conferences he had in the past, seriously called on the government to call on these researchers. We have so many of them in our universities. We have the NIPRIT there. We have so many individuals, even local persons, like I did mention Oni of Ife and his group. There are quite a number of such persons who said they have a claim. Who claim that they have a cure for this. One would expect that we should be proud of our own. If we can go ahead to import now from Madagascar because it's coming from African country, fine. We want to solidarize. I have no issue. But the issue is that what went wrong with our home? What we have here, what are claims? For all you cares, Madagascar has just one university, 6 universities and 1 college of pharmacy. But in Nigeria, we have, the number of places we have. Right. And in Nigeria, we have so much research institute here.
Let me bring Senator Olori Egbe. Not only that Senator Olori Egbe is a medical doctor, he's also worked in the international environment and can bring that experience to bear. Senator Olori Egbe, it appears the federal government is desperate to win the COVID-19 war with the Madagascar alternative. Would you consider that a smart move?
Well, that question is tricky. I don't think it's a smart move. I tend to agree with Pharmacist Samuel that there are several claims in Nigeria. But let me start to underscore that from even what you play, it isn't as if federal government has given approval for the use of the Madagascar preparation. I think it is in the spirit of the African Brotherhood and the fact that our president has been appointed as the, so to say, the chairman for the West African, that is the ECOWAS region, to coordinate the response towards COVID-19. I suspect that that is why probably that is being brought to Nigeria. However, let me also state that as legislator and as the chair of the committee oversighting health in Nigeria, we are yet to be formally briefed about this. But informally with NAFDAC, I'm aware that there's no any drug that's been approved by NAFDAC yet to be used for, as an approved or validated drug for COVID-19. But I'm also aware of several claims by several individuals in Nigeria who have herbal products. In fact, I've had opportunity of intervening between such claimant and Ministry of Health and NAFDAC to see how the product will be tested. I must also say that in Nigeria, we have the regulations and the guideline as to how any product that is claimed to have effect to treat anything, I mean, have a pharmaceutical effect, can be approved for public use. And I am sure that Madagascar claim and other claims will go through that. There was one question you asked, which pharmaceutical, in Nigeria, alternative medicine is recognized. In fact, in the Federal Ministry of Health, we have a department headed by a director of alternative and medicine. And there's a national policy.
Apologies to Botin. Let's take a breather. Sorry, Senator. When we come back, I'll allow you to talk more on this. There's been a couple of issues that's been raised, especially on what is being used for this Madagascar, the atamycin, and the warning against it. We'll take a look at that when we come back from this break, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. The federal government has asked that the Madagascar herbal cure for COVID-19 should be procured, but the PTF today said that it will undergo scrutiny whenever it got into tonight. That's our focus on the decision and the move of the federal government on that. Senator Ibrahim Oluregbe is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Health, and we have a pharmacist here, Mr. Sam Adekola. Thank you so much indeed for coming. Let me get back to Senator in Abuja before I come back to Lagos. The president of Madagascar, the president of Madagascar, had said that that tonic had passed scientific scrutiny already and cured 2 patients of COVID-19. So if you look at Madagascar's records, they have about 150 or thereabout confirmed coronavirus cases and no record of deaths. Looking at that record, do you think that is a good record for Nigeria to take a cue from?
No, I don't think so. From scientific perspective, that figure is quite small. 2, from what we learned worldwide about the epidemiology of the coronavirus, it's not majority of people that suffer from coronavirus illnesses don't even show symptoms. Those that show symptoms are very few. If you could say 100 people have coronavirus, for example, from the statistics, even in Nigeria, about 90% of them may not have any symptoms or may not get any sickness. Among the 10% that may have symptoms, only about 5% may have what you call mild symptoms, and only about 5% will have severe symptoms. And out of those 5%, it's only 3 maximally that died. So if you are talking about 100, Madagascar is a small country, and you are talking of 2 patients, based on my medical experience, and I'm sure pharmacists will also confirm it, we cannot take that at all to be statistically significant for a product to be licensed. Besides, what you say is their claim. I have not seen it. We need to know what are the chemical content of what the product, what has been the result. For any product to go through scrutiny, 1, the starting test is not human being. Usually there must be a laboratory test for that particular product to know what we call the pharmacognostic process or the pharmacology of them before you even get to pharmacology. That pharmacognostic means what's the content, what does it work on the virus, where does it attack? Does it have an antiviral, functions, and in what particular aspect, so that anybody can explain it. That is the basis of science that we know about any product or any drug. So what is in the public domain now does not convince anybody that's a scientist to say we accept it. And what I want to say, just to conclude on that because of time, is that even it means if you don't take any drug, you get well from COVID-19. Or many people that are put in isolation center, who don't have symptoms, they just watch them over days, maximum between 1 week and 2 weeks. They test again, people get the natural immunity, get over it. So are you sure, for the few people you have given, you said 2 people, that it is the drug that works? It could be just their immunity. Or even if you give these people just water, simple water, they will still get better. So we need to have more samples. We need to also know the laboratory test, that's the in vivo test first, before now you even go to animal test, and then before you try based on volunteer human test, and the publication that will justify this. So, like, for example, leave the Madagascar product. When they started talking about chloroquine, It started as a trial and so on. And the chloroquine's effect as an antiviral drug has been proven long ago, even before COVID. And it has a methodology of how it works. But despite that, there are the result did not tally to show that it actually works. It does work in some people, it doesn't work in some. And it's not now
Senator,
yet, never came up the other day to
Senator,
say
apologies. Apologies.
So that's my point.
I'd like you to hit the nail on the head right now. Are you saying, as a medical doctor, that looking towards traditional and alternative medication should not be the focus of the federal government in looking for a solution for these COVID-19?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It should be. What is traditional? Even the orthodox medicine are product of, there are main two sources. One is from the chemicals that are derived from plants, either leaves or roots and so on. And then there are drugs that are from petrochemicals, that is from byproduct chemicals. The pharmacist will be able to say much on this. So when you talk about traditional medicine, it's still a product. The only thing that is there is that the processing to refine it, to be able, as just like the coordinator has said, you have to test the efficacy of a drug. That efficacy means, is it effective against the disease you want to, and how, or what? And if you take it, at what quantity and so on. The second thing is safety. Something may be effective, but the side effect maybe it's too much. That means you will not, the thing will cure the drug, the disease, but it cause more than side effect. So alternative medicine, or traditional medicine as you call it, is a welcome development. We need to look at the product, but the only thing is for the product to satisfy those two conditions. It must be effective and it must be safe to be used.
Let's hear from, again, from Mr. Adekola.
Consistently.
All right. Let's hear from Mr. Adekola. One of the issues against the Madagascar tonic is that there hasn't been any peer review. Yeah. Has there been any peer review of locally suggested herbal or traditional or alternative medication?
Well, we have not gotten one yet. But the issue is here, which we are trying to say. If the government is showing interest on importing, spending our scarce commodity, forest to import tonic from Madagascar, they are supposed to be taken from us, then we have a problem. And that's the critical point here. For me, for pharmacists, we are not against the Madagascar. In fact, we praise them that they could come this far. But the issue is what is our priority? If we have this, it is because why you see the president of Madagascar drinking the stuff on television, and people have, it's because they have given room, they have supported. They have supported their scientists. They've supported their own.
Are you saying that the government of the day should give more support?
That's the point, because we have not seen it. We have cried. There is a 25 billion donations, which they talk about. Okay, we've especially asked that they should support research and development on this. But nothing is done. Nobody is called to table to discuss. And this is the critical thing. You understand? So why, this is not about political solidarization. We want to solidarize with our African country. Africa. Well, very good. But the point is clear, which we're trying to say, that if Nigeria could go to Madagascar to bring this tonic, then Nigeria, we must have seen that, oh yes, he has done, we've done something, we've spent maybe a whole huge on our own, and we have not been able to achieve something.
Mr. Adekola?
Yes.
Do you believe that we have presently a possible cure for COVID-19 in Nigeria?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Why not? Scientists have said there's several claims. But even, like you said, like the doctors, the senator just said, the truth about COVID is that it's an issue that has to do with immunity. So, for all you cares, again, let me also say that even the chloroquine that is in Nigeria, the chloroquine we're talking about, the hydroxychloroquine, they are here. So, but what are we talking about? The truth about it is that there are people who have used it, and it has worked on them.
So artemisinin,
yes,
which a lot of people have raised issue, just in 10 seconds,
yes,
they said that even for treatment of malaria, they've raised issue about it, that as a monotherapy, that it has side effect, there's a problem with.
Yes.
And this is what the Madagascar...
It's not even about side effects. It has failed as monotherapy.
And that is what the Madagascar...
Yes, that's it. What it contains, primarily. So it has failed as monotherapy.
All right.
And that is why even WHO has said, and today he has prescribed monotherapy, and it is combined therapy. That's why you have ACT
Yeah. Let me allow, we've come to the end of the program, but let's allow Senator Oloregbe to give us his final word. As a senator and someone in government, what do you think is urgent for us to look at as a nation that will help the federal government? Just in 30 seconds, Senator Oloregbe.
Yes, I think what is urgent is what the Senate decided last week for the Federal Ministry of Health to set up a technical committee, and this has been done. Part of the role of that technical committee is to be able to annex all our expertise that we have, for them to identify all claims or receive all claims and conduct primary research in Nigeria, both for the treatment and also for us to even have the epidemiological trend of the disease in Nigeria. The minister has already set up that committee, and like all the claims that are coming in now, the committee will review it, and also they will support primary research for Nigeria, for us to have a cure in Nigeria. It includes also for Nigeria, for those committees to work on development of vaccines for this particular disease in Nigeria. So I think this is ongoing, just to be able to respond to part of what Mr. Samuel said.
Senator Ibrahim Oloregbe, the chair on health at the Senate, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. And Mr. Samuel Adekola, thank you so much. He's the chair of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. But that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Okimale. Bye-bye.